Okay, let's return to Africa and appreciate the people's experiences in developing sophisticated centralized state societies and their interactions with the world. The last time we learned that recent archaeological and anthropological discoveries have shown that African societies were much more involved in worldwide developments of human history than had previously been believed. Close-knit communities emerging from the Niger River system began transmigrations across Central Africa, journeying to the east and south. And as the communities emerged from the Archaic period, their ecologically sensitive subsistence techniques influenced an oral tradition centered around the woman. And by tracing their ancestry through the mother, societies created matrilineal cultures. The Bantu migrations influenced important cultural traditions in art, music, literature, and dance. Bantu became identified as the family of languages of the people south of the Saharan desert, and their religious beliefs solidified in the understanding of one creator God, however so defined, and the ordinary people, or the living of the earth. The ordinary or living of the earth were not empowered to communicate with the divine, but needed priests or mediums who could intercede and communicate with deities who had access to the divine, or ancestor spirits living in the world of the divine who could serve as guides for the people. The idea was to call upon the spirits in order to assist the ordinary in following an honorable path. And this belief in ancestral spirits made family the most important social unit and influenced the development of matrilineal practices. Women became the agriculturalists in West Africa, where the taro root, okra, and yams became the staple crops. Men cleared the land, became weavers, made tools, and traded surplus products. Women deliberated on which men led the communities. Politically, village units were the mainstay of the economy, organized into larger marketing systems and coming under the supervision or control of a kingship system. Bantu cultural expressions were rooted in environmental religions. And to make the spirits come alive, the living of the earth needed environmental assistance coupled with human expression. So the use of percussion, drums, harps, flutes, horns, dance, sculpted masks, and figures representing spirits of those who had gone before, along with singing and incantations. These encouraged vibrant polysemous expressions that energized the soul. And these practices are embodied in a Zimbabwe saying that rings truth to the human expression. If you can talk, you can sing. If you can walk, you can dance. Now, with regards to urban life in African towns, it can be said that they usually developed from small fortified walled villages. And the lowest, most basic level of African social groupings was the nuclear family. Matrilineal expressions influenced behavioral patterns between the sexes as they were relaxed and respectful rather than domineering and abusive. Art reflected environmental influences where wood carvings represented spiritual renewal and bronze and iron statuary depicted the complexities and the richness of both court life and common experiences. Music employed various instruments including harp, bells, and the xylophone. African music produced a totality of music in its combination of voice and instrument sounds. And finally, African culture created an impressive oral literary tradition, a tradition based on its use of bards to retain and spread communal history and religious beliefs. Now, the ancient civilization that was located in the highlands of what is known today as Ethiopia was Aksum. Now, Aksum was founded possibly by migrants from the kingdom of Saba or Sheba in the Arabian Peninsula. A unique aspect of the ancient Ethiopian civilization was the fact that it adopted the form of Christianity based or practiced in Egypt. Starting as an Arab trading colony along the Red Sea, Aksum grew to dominate East Africa for over 500 years. Combining African and Arabic cultures, trade and commerce flourished as connections with the Roman Empire, India, and Arabia increased. Its interaction with Byzantine missionaries introduced Christianity, converting the population. And in 330 of the Common Era, King Ezana made Christianity the official religion, serving as a cohesive force amongst disparate environmental religions. Ethiopia is the modern name for Aksum, deriving from Byzantine Christianity, the oldest and most distinctive version of that religion in all of Africa. As Arab Muslims dominated the seaboard trade, long-lasting conflict developed between the Muslims and the Zagwe, the last Ethiopian Christian dynasty. But the arrival of Islam in Africa began with the Arab defeat of the Byzantines in Egypt. Muslim conversion was probably stimulated by tax incentives. The Arab capture of Carthage unified their hegemony over what they called Al-Maghrib. Arab merchants played a notable role in trade in much of northern, central, and eastern Africa. So when taking a look at the spread of Islam in Africa, it achieved only limited success in the mountains of Ethiopia. Yet its concepts of egalitarianism and religious toleration had great appeal amongst the common people. Curiously, a distinctive African form of Islam developed as local religious practices replaced basic Islamic ones. Nonetheless, Islam had considerable success in both West Africa and East Africa. The Arab introduction of the camel into Africa enabled the trans-Saharan caravan trade to greatly increase. Cultural exchanges were stimulated by the growth of the caravan activity. The trade enabled the Saharan region to become a major crossroad of international commerce. So before Islam developed in Africa, many religions believed that human life had two stages, one earthly and the other external. People believed in nature and ancestor spirits. So the original reason for the rise of the Kingdom of Ghana was the role that it played in the gold trade. Ghana was a title given to a person representing divinity. And in regard to state building in West Africa, it can be said that Ghana was the first great commercial state of the Niger River system. When Islam appeared, the people's environmental outlook accommodated Islam's monotheistic doctrine that was rooted in the 5 pillars. Muslim traders and missionaries concentrated first on converting the elite classes, and these elite classes immediately experienced the advantages of trading with the Muslim world, facilitating commerce and access to international trade. Muslim toleration of religious diversity assisted in the transformation. As the gold fields dissipated, holy wars erupted, leading to the rise of a semi-mythical king named Sundiata, creating the Kingdom of Mali. The Kingdom of Mali maintained a pro-Islamic policy under the influential and international renowned leader named Mansa Musa. The term Mansa derived from local traditions, hereditary specialist of a farming village. Now, the textbook provides fascinating insights into the various kingship city-states that appeared along the Niger River system in West Africa. The Yoruba. These people created a complex urban trading center called Ife. Women dominated commerce in a strategically located market in West Africa's savanna and forest zones. Ayo, or Aya, took over where Ife left off. Clans and hereditary specialists ensured sovereignty that rested in towns and cities and not absolute rulers. Meanwhile, neighbors of the Yoruba, Ido, created Benin, an international trading center whose population numbered in the hundreds of thousands. In East Africa, Swahili city-states participated in the commercial development of the continent. Arabs called the people Zanje. They are known as the Swahili. East African trade provided a lively ocean-going commercial intercourse with the civilizations far to the east. Malayan traders and settlers introduced yams and bananas to Africa via Swahili city-states. And Malay settlements traded with the Swahili on the island of Madagascar. And finally, in the main center of settled life in Central Africa, survived the people of the Great Zimbabwe. This was inland from Mozambique. It was a large capital city and fortress, making it one of the most impressive monuments in Africa south of the pyramids. its presence reflects the importance of international trade from Swahili ports into the mainland of the continent. The southern African state of Zimbabwe was located south of the Zambezi River and derived great wealth from its role in expanded trade activities between coastal Africa and the regions of the continent's interior. Zimbabwe had a significant role in the gold trade with the Swahili states. So to summarize, Africans participated in the larger international networks of commerce through food-producing revolutions, through state formation, through urbanization, and trade with the rest of the ancient world. African cities and commercial communities created links to the larger world through international trade and these commercial networks. So let's conclude this segment on Africa and this presentation by viewing the documentary that follows. Thanks.